Hello and welcome to Money Mindset Channel. As a financial advisor, I've learned a hard truth. The tiniest leak sinks the biggest ship. People wait for the big promotion, the brilliant investment, or the perfect moment to get serious, all while their financial future is quietly bleeding out through a dozen small, ignored holes. They want to build wealth, but they don't understand the central, counterintuitive reality of money. Your entire financial future is determined not by big, dramatic decisions, but how you treat the smallest amounts when absolutely no one is watching. This isn't about genius, it's about habits. It's not about intensity, it's about a brutal consistency. Today, we're going to break down 5 powerful mindset shifts that separate the wealthy from everyone else. This isn't inspiration, this is the operating manual. Let's get into it. Takeaway 1. How you treat $1 is how you'll treat $1 million. Your small financial decisions, the ones made without an audience or applause, are the most honest reflection of your character. When you ignore a small fee, overpay for convenience, or tell yourself a few dollars don't matter, you are revealing exactly how your mind works. This is critical because habits don't magically change when the numbers get bigger, they are simply amplified. A person who is careless with small sums will be careless with large ones. The belief that you will suddenly transform into a more disciplined person when the stakes are higher is a fantasy that has destroyed more futures than bad luck ever could. Words are cheap. Intentions are cheap. Behavior is not. The way you treat $1 tells me exactly how you will treat $1 million. It's not an opinion, it's how reality works. You learn more about a person's future by seeing how they treat small amounts than by listening to everything they say about their dreams. Takeaway 2. The wealthy aren't brilliant, they're allergic to stupidity. There's a popular myth that wealth is built on genius moves and complex high-stakes strategies. That's a popular myth, and it's nonsense. Most of the time, real wealth is the result of a relentless focus on avoiding small, foolish mistakes. Wealthy people aren't obsessed with big wins, they are allergic to stupidity, even when the cost seems insignificant. They hate waste, friction, and inefficiency. This isn't about being a cheapskate. Being a cheapskate is emotional. This is about being precise, which is rational. A precise person happily spends money where it produces value, but refuses to tolerate waste. They fix small irrationalities, not just to save $1, but because tolerating irrationality in small matters allows it to spread like a virus. Once you accept stupidity in one area of your life, it infects others. If you're finding this mindset shift valuable, do me a favor and hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's get to our next point. Rich people don't get rich because they are obsessed with big wins. That's a popular myth, and it's nonsense. Most of the time, they get rich because they are allergic to stupidity, even when the cost of that stupidity seems insignificant. Takeaway 3. Compounding is a brutal machine that punishes delay. People talk about compounding as if it's some inspiring concept. It's not. Compounding is a cold, mechanical, and unforgiving process. It has no sympathy for your personal story. It either works for you or against you, and that decision is based entirely on your behavior. The most common excuses I hear are, "I'll start investing when I make more money," or "investing such a small amount won't move the needle." These statements reveal a fundamental misunderstanding of how wealth is built. Compounding is a machine that rewards one input far more than any other: time. Losing the early years isn't a small mistake you can correct later, it's a structural failure. The math is cruel to procrastinators.
Worse yet is inconsistency. Starting and stopping is more destructive than starting late because every interruption resets your momentum. People quit because slow progress feels boring, but the wealthy tolerate boredom exceptionally well. They understand that the real work of wealth building happens in the quiet, unexciting gaps between dramatic market moves. Compounding rewards time much more than it rewards size. The first few years matter disproportionately. Losing them is not a small mistake, it is a structural failure. Takeaway 4. Every dollar is a worker you must command. Most people treat money as something to be consumed. The wealthy have a different mental model. Money isn't a trophy, money is a worker. Each dollar can either be put to work producing more value or it can be wasted. When you receive money, the first question shouldn't be, "What can I buy?" It should be, "What job should this money do?" Should it earn interest? Should it compound? Should it reduce future risk by paying down debt? Money that is not given a mission will inevitably disappear. This mindset does more than grow your accounts. It reduces anxiety. Financial stress is often not about scarcity, but about disorder. When your money has a plan, there is order. Order creates calm. Disorder creates fear. You stop spending reflexively and start asking if a purchase improves your long-term position or merely satisfies a short-term urge. This is a core principle we talk about on the Money Mindset channel. If you're not subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so for more content like this. A dollar spent for the ego is a dollar that will never return. A dollar invested rationally can return many times over. This choice, repeated thousands of times, decides everything. Takeaway 5. You don't become a new person, you just become more of who you are. One of the most dangerous fantasies in personal finance is the belief that you will magically become disciplined once you have more money. The reality is much harsher. More money doesn't create discipline, it amplifies your existing habits. The pressure doesn't create discipline, it exposes the lack of it. How you start is how you finish. Starting small is not about the amount of money, it's about forging your financial identity. When you consistently invest small amounts, you are not just building wealth, you are building proof for yourself that you are the kind of person who follows through. You begin to see yourself as someone who is disciplined. This identity, built through small, repeated actions, is what allows you to handle wealth when it arrives. People who skip this step almost always fail under pressure. How you start is how you finish, not because life is unfair, but because behavior is consistent and reality always honors consistency. Conclusion. Wealth isn't a secret, it's a system. Wealth is not a product of luck, genius, or a few grand moments. It is the quiet, inevitable outcome of disciplined habits, practiced consistently with the small things when no one is watching. These habits do more than just grow your bank account. They train your mind and forge your character. They make you the kind of person who can handle success long before it arrives. Wealth, in the end, becomes a byproduct of who you become. So I'll leave you with one final question. Look at your smallest financial habits from the past week. What story are they telling about your future? If you found this mindset shift valuable, do me a favor and hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. Stay disciplined.